Thank you for watching BCP Builder's training series on business continuity management. This video is going to introduce you to Scott Baldwin. Scott is going to provide some background information and case studies of his experience of business continuity management.
Hi, my name is Scott Baldwin, and I am a business continuity professional, and I have been practicing resiliency in some fashion for the past 15 years. I currently am head of resiliency and risk for a company called Synopsys in the Silicon Valley, Bay Area. Before that, I ran the business continuity program globally for eBay. I was the technology solutions program manager for resiliency at PayPal, as well as managed the Asia Pacific business continuity program. I've worked financial institutions like Charles Schwab, and a couple other areas. But I've had a great opportunity to work in various organizations in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I originally started my career as a software engineer, and I did that for about 10 years. And that has provided me with a couple really important lessons that have informed the way that I approach resiliency now, especially as someone who kind of specializes on program development or creating new programs, resiliency programs. So the first thing I learned as an engineer that really has been helpful for me is an idea called object-oriented design. Object-oriented design is an idea in which you take one concept or maybe a collection of concepts. In programming, it would be code, and you wrap them or encapsulate them in a single process. What you can then do is clone those processes and duplicate them to be much more efficient, and you can scale pretty much forever. So I can use this approach to not only quickly build programs in new organizations, but it doesn't matter how large the organization is, because this object-oriented approach completely scales. It's portable, it scales. So that's been very useful for me in building complex programs and in a more simplified approach. The second thing that I learned, I was in the midst of the dot-com, the startup, the heyday of the dot-coms. I was born and raised in San Jose, which is the heart of Silicon Valley. Lived just down the street, or I did live down the street from where Apple now is, and a lot of big dot-com companies. And I had the opportunity to work in this atmosphere of the dot-coms. And one of the drawbacks of that situation was that we were all about moving fast, moving forward, moving ahead. We had no time for any kind of resiliency thoughts at all. Our disaster recovery plans, or our business continuity plans, were basically, we were responsible for backing up our own code. And if we lost our code, we were responsible for rewriting that code. So obviously that's not a great approach. We had no idea there was a discipline called disaster recovery. We just knew that we were responsible for maintaining our code. And as you can imagine, if you lose your code and you spend all night rewriting it, it's not going to be probably as good as your original code. But in any event, I had the opportunity to feel the sting of losing code several times, and the gut-dropping feeling of losing all that data, all that work, and knowing that you were going to have to rebuild that, created scars in me emotionally, I think, that I still carry with me, and it helps me to be passionate and understand that a little bit of appropriate preparation to risk is so worth it. And I've lived through, not only that, but we, again, in the dot-coms, we were not really thinking about resiliency. We had a production server go down. We had to pull our dev server up, and in doing so, deleted months of code. So there, I have these very real. Thinking back on it, it still causes me a sense of panic when I think about what we'd gone through. So this really pushes me and makes me passionate about not only creating an environment where people want to back up and are prepared and ready for risk and impacts, but also to do it in such a way that is appropriate to the risk, as well as creating methodologies and processes that make it as simple as possible for people to participate in resilience. So that is my background. That's how I got into the business and where I'm now.
Thank you for watching this video. I will be releasing these free training videos through social media each week. If you would like to view the entire series, please visit bcpbuilder.com/training.